All right, Rachel Durchie here, and I'm going to be showing you the Love of Leaves bundle, which it has the Love of Leaves stamp set and the Stitched Leaves dies. So here you can see the dies here, and I like how you can, well, this one is actually cutting out this one. Like when you stamp it, but if you want like a stitched look, you can also add that to each of the leaves. And then I really like this piece in the dies, and I have several samples that kind of show that. So my first sample here is showing with the Love of Leaves stamp set, and then the stitched dies, and then I use the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder, and then also the Mint Macaroon Subtle Designer Series paper. So you can see that behind there, and then also the crinkled seam binding. So I have Mint Macaroon, Shaded Spruce, Whisper White. This next one here, again using the Love of Leaves stamp set, and then the Stitched Leaves die, and then also using the Gilded Gems on the leaves there. And so it's on Crumb Cake with Early Espresso, the Cajun Craze, Mint Macaroon, and also Early Espresso. And then the Designer Series paper here is from the mini catalog, Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. So like I said, one of my favorite pieces in the die is this, and so I decided to go ahead and run this through, and I decided to kind of make it look like some Christmas ornament or Christmas decorations kind of hanging down. And I used the I had Whisper White cardstock, the Real Red, and the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper, and the Mossy Meadow striped ribbon, and then using the red rhinestones on that. Again, using that lovely stitched die there from the Stitched Leaves die, and then also the saying from the Love of Leaves stamp set. And the colors used on this is the soft seafoam, soft suede, and also used the mint macaroon, and then the braided linen trim. Here I'm using the Love of Leaves stamp set, and then the Stitched Leaves die with Crumb Cake, Cajun Craze, Mint Macaroon, the Soft So Saffron, and Garden Green, and then a little bit of that designer paper, the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer paper, and I love how it gives a little bit of a shimmer. And then look at that stitch die, just love it. So here I wanted to kind of show what's kind of fun with this die set is that you get a nice little stitch around the edge. So on all of these, I cut out the leaf to kind of look like falling leaves. And then I put the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper behind it. And I used So Saffron, Whisper White, Shaded Spruce, and some rhinestones in there. And also used the layering square die as well. And then the stamp set, the Love of Leaves stamp set. Again, kind of showing how you can have that stitched around the leaves. I laid each of these leaves down and ran it through the Big Shot all at the same time on the pumpkin pie cardstock. And then I layered behind that lovely plaid tidings designer series paper. And I also used basic black, whisper white, and rich razzleberry. And then these are also in the mini catalog. It's all the trimmings embellishments. This one, again, showing where you can have that window kind of look with the leaves, and I put behind there the Ornate Garden Specialty Designer Series paper. And the colors that I used on this is the Calypso Coral, Old Olive, Whisper White, Early Espresso, and then the Bumblebee cardstock. And because you're creating kind of a window, you can also make nice shaker cards. And with this one, I use that stitched die that you can kind of see here, and I ran it through twice so you can have on the top of the card and on the bottom of the card. And I used Pumpkin Pie, Pear Pizzazz, Night of Navy, Whisper White, and then also used a window sheet and the foam adhesive strips. And then the sequence is from the mini catalog, the sequence for everything, and then the crinkled seam binding ribbon. Pretty cool. I like kind of creating your own kind of designer series paper by stamping the leaves from the stamp set, the Love of Leaves stamp set, and then use the stitched leaves die to punch out that leaf. And then I use the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder, and then also use the in color enamel dots and the Bumblebee ribbon. And so the colors that I used that I stamped, Cinnamon Cider, Bumblebee, and Early Espresso. Okay, this one here, I used a Christmas Designer Series paper on this, the Toll Tidings Designer Series paper from the mini catalog. And then I used that stitched die on there from the Stitched Leaves die and the leaves from the Love of Leaves stamp set. Used Whisper White, and I stamped using the Old Olive and Misty Moonlight ink, and also Pool Party, and then used the Misty Moonlight ribbon. So this one, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I stamped using the Cajun Craze, and then when I ran my die through to cut out the leaf, I also used the stitching on it just to give a little different effect. And then also the gold foil sheets. I love how that turned out. And then this is the trim from the Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack. And then the Designer Series paper is the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. And then this embossing folder is also from the mini catalog, the wrapped in texture embossing powder, or embossing folder. So this one, using the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper, and then I cut it at an angle and then separated it so that I could stamp my greeting that's in the Love of Leaves stamp set, and also used the stamped Cherry Cobbler, the leaf, and then die cut it out with the Stitched Leaves die. And then this is the Misty Moonlight ribbon and the paper is Seaside Spray, Misty Moonlight, Whisper White. Again, kind of creating another nice designer series-ish type paper by just stamping all your leaves all around. And I used the Bumblebee, Pear Pizzazz, Cinnamon Cider on the Very Vanilla cardstock, and also used Pear Pizzazz, cut out the die. And this is the Basket Weave Metallic Ribbon Combo Pack, just using the metallic ribbon. And then I also used that die, again that lovely die, to give kind of a stitched look on that little piece of designer or Bumblebee cardstock. This one here, I used the stamp set, and the greeting also comes in the stamp set, and used that Basket Weave Metallic Ribbon Combo Pack as well, using that lovely metallic ribbon that goes so well with this designer series Gilded Autumn specialty paper. And then the colors that I used on here are Mint Macaroon, Early Espresso, and Whisper White. So on this one, it's kind of a nice framed art piece here for Thanksgiving, and that's from the Word Wishes die. The rest of it is using the stitched leaves die, and also I use the poinsettia die, just these pieces here, and also did it in the Early Espresso. So the cardstock that I used on here is Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, and as you see, using that lovely stitched die going across there, and Cajun Craze, and Very Vanilla, and used the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper, and also Mint Macaroon. And then going on the same kind of theme here, and you can see from a card that I showed you earlier is how I kind of carried the theme, kind of designed this first, and then the other things kind of came from that. And so on this, using the same designer series paper, same color cardstock, and then just did it on a nice handled bag, and using both pieces from the Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack, and as you can see, that gold metallic edged ribbon. Oh no, I'm sorry, on the cardstock this is the metallic greenery trim, and using the gilded I can't think of it. Anyway, the Gilded Gems. That's it. So there you have the lovely bundle here, Love of Leaves bundle from the new mini catalog, again on page 49. I hope you found something that you could use. Thanks.